the prestige during this war shifted very dramatically from the old guard white units, okay, pardon me for using that expression, to the, the people, the regular people. A huge amount of prestige shift in that respect. So that's going to change the way people think about politics in Israel for a very long time. Okay, so where is all this headed, okay? So as I said, Israel is actually not a polarized society. It's really a society moving towards the center, and old ideologies are actually dying. And Haredim are, for all that they're fighting against, the attempt to draft them now, are becoming Israelis more and more every day. And Chilonim more and more every day are realizing that we're only going to be able to survive here if there's a reason for us to be here, if that Jewish tradition is somehow part of our culture. And Dati-Leumi people are, I would say, taking a less theological view of politics and a more realistic view of politics. We really are moving more to the center. But in the short run, we are still in the midst of a generational transition from the old guard that still thinks labor and and Mapai, right? That still thinks in those terms, to a younger generation that doesn't think in those terms anymore. And there's going to be a lot of pain in that process, okay? Because nobody gives up their power easily, okay? In science, the physicists say physics progresses one funeral at a time, right? Because the old professors don't let the young people with new theories to, like that, right? So, whatever. But there's another very important point to make. My own personal experience, okay? During the reform, what was I doing every day? Since the left decided that I was the initiator of the reform and I was to blame for the whole thing, I basically spent all my days speaking to people on the left, seeing if we could find compromises. And here's what I discovered. When I spoke to younger people, who also happened to know something about constitutional law, we had very interesting conversations. And in fact, my colleagues and I locked ourselves in a room for hundreds of hours with law professors on the left who opposed the reform. And we sat there literally hundreds of hours, and we worked out compromises. We had compromises on every issue. And the president, who was the one who was Ki'ilu trying to find a compromise, knew about it. We came to him together and gave him the compromise. In the end, he put down a compromise that was basically what Aaron Barak more or less